Putting the slicks on.
You already know what it is.
All-wheel drive thing. $13 by 9s, not the 10s anymore. Brand new. Used tire though. It's all good. 13 by 8s for the back. This thing's gonna hook. It's gonna bunny hop. All right, I just got them all unloaded from the back of the truck. Huge thank you to Alfonso for helping me out put the slicks on the wheels. And man, do these look beautiful. Obviously the 13 by 9s for the fronts, 13 by 8s for the rear. It's a 13 by 8 with a 24.5 tire on it. These are a 24.5 by 9.5 tire. These are the ones that came off of the Integra. So yeah, I'm about to throw these onto the CRX. I just have to move the Audi out of the way, pull the CRX out and start working on that. Also, a bunch of you guys were asking me about the CRX taking priority over the little EG hatch that I have. So I do still plan on building a K car. I actually listed this hatch for sale. I have it on Facebook Marketplace as well as Instagram, just a shell. I'm still definitely going to build a K car, but probably sometime next year. Just given that I have both the other cars inside of the garage that I have to put money into right now, I think it'd just be wise to get this out of the way, free up some space in the driveway, as well as put my focused energy towards the CRX and then the Integra. So yeah, I'm going to start putting the slicks onto the car right now. Sorry about the K build. I will do it on 2020. I'm definitely going to be doing a K build. But yeah, so I'll start on the CRX right now, putting the slicks on, and show you guys how it looks there. All right off the bat, I have two problems that I can find. First, it's too low in the front. The back, I can probably raise it like 1/2 inch, but definitely too low in the front. I can turn very little, and I don't want to finish a pass and then have the front end drop or anything. And for the rear, the fitment is there. I like how it fits so far. It has a little bit of offset. Well, I mean, a lot of offset. It sticks out of the car quite a bit. But the problem is the tire touches on the camber kit, or the camber arm, like on the trailing arm part. And when I test fitted it, obviously without the tire, it didn't. But right there, I don't know if you can see very well, but obviously it touches. So simple solution. Luckily I have in the back the extended studs already. You can tell right there. So I have the little spacers that I used to run on the Integra somewhere around here. I can probably find them real quick, but I'm gonna have to run them for sure. And hopefully that gives me enough clearance in the back. If it doesn't, then I'll have to do another offsetted style wheel, like another size. But we'll see, we'll see. But yeah, it's not a 9.5 tire in the back. It's just a 8-inch tire. So, and this is fully aired up. This is at 30 PSI all around. The tires had both been sitting for a while, so I just wanted to air them up and have them get to their normal form again. So yeah, this is fully inflated on 4 slicks. I'll see what I have to do for the rear. The front looks all right besides the height, like I said. Let me just pull it outside. Actually, I'll put the spacers on first, and then I'll pull it outside and look at the clearance and whatnot and how it looks outside. So I found my spacers. I already put one on this side right here. It's just a regular like AutoZone style spacer. And even with that small spacer, it's still touching. And it's not something that like I can space it out. I mean, I could space it out a lot more, I guess, but I don't want it to be like a crazy amount out, and it's already out there quite a bit. If I do like a 1/2 inch spacer or something, it's gonna be just like it looks in the front, super offsetted outwards. And I didn't want anything crazy right here. But yeah, it definitely sucks. It's touching a lot. And yeah, I could probably run it like if I wanted to drive it around town or something. But that's something very important. Like that's rubbing, that's definitely not good. You can see it touching right there. Obviously it touches a lot more without the spacer, but yeah, that sucks. All right, so right there, it does not touch any. I have both spacers on there. Not my ideal fix. You can see that there's some room now. Oh, I really don't like it, but let's see, once it's sat on the floor, it matches basically the front. It does have a lot of offset coming out, but I really wanted it to tuck a little bit more in the rear. I know if I would have done like a 15 by 8 or something with a small skinny slick, it'll probably have looked a lot more OEM, like most of the all-wheel drive guys are doing. but it doesn't look too much different than this side. Still looks all right. But I only had those 2 spacers, so what I'm gonna do right now is go to AutoZone and pick up a couple more spacers. Like I said, they're the extended studs on this one. Once that they're tightened down, it comes to the end of the open lug nut, so it's essentially just like a regular stud at that point. So it's doing this job. Nothing seems to be touching the front, but like I said, I still need to raise the car. If I do full lock, it starts to touch right here. So if worst case scenario, I can't get the car high enough for them to be like at least half turn, so then I can do like back up and a 3 or 4 point turn if I need to turn around, then I might just end up cutting out the fender, but we'll see. Nothing's permanent now. I just want to get the rear rubbing situation situated. And yeah, so I'm gonna run to the store like I said, and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, just got 2 more wheel spacers so I can put onto the driver's side right now, and yeah, start making that fit. All right, now you see it moves freely without rubbing or anything. Just lower that back down. Yeah, fitment is a lot more aggressive right there. It looks really cluttered in the garage, so I'm just gonna pull the car out real quick. But yeah, fits a lot better. It's really out there. Man, even without having adjusted the front height or the rear height or anything yet, this thing looks super aggressive. Holy crap. War ready, basically. She's almost on kill mode, guys. And hey, guess what? She's already rolling forward. I'm gonna have to stop that before oh no, it stopped by itself. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to adjust the ride height, because I don't want it to be falling on its face and hitting the slick. And I'll probably get rid of these sharp edges right here. That way I don't have any chances. Last time I was at the track, the only time I was at the track actually with this, we had to bend this out of place to run the slick, and it's still pretty close right there. So I'm gonna end up cutting this to a closer length with the front, just so there's a lot more clearance. And I think if we end up lifting the car a little, I won't have to do anything to the fenders. Like I said, I might have to. I think it'll be fine. But yeah, that looks super aggressive like that. Holy crap. All right, so I have the suspension taken off on the passenger side right now. I already did the driver's side. We raised it about 1 inch on the coilover, which once it settles, I feel like it's gonna give us like 3/4 of an inch of clearance from the fender. On the small tires that I use for daily use, it might look kind of funny because there's gonna be a bunch of wheel gap, but I don't worry about that as long as I have good clearance and safety and whatnot for the slicks, which is gonna be when I start going fast at the track. I don't wanna have any issues with it. I want it to be nice and healthy. So yeah, I'm just gonna lock that back into place, throw the coilover assembly back on, and rock it from there. All right, so we have the car on the floor. Just from the looks of it, it is a lot higher. We're gonna bring it down just probably 3 or 4 turns on the coilover. We raised it 1 inch on the coilover. I thought it'd give it about 3/4 of an inch, but it looks like it gave it the full inch. So I'm gonna lower it down. If you guys can notice, the camber, it looks like it has maybe half a point of positive camber, maybe a full point. When we did the alignment, it zeroed out, but that was pretty much maxed out on the negative camber of these. It is a DA spindle onto a CRX, so I'm not sure if that affects it at all. But I think I'm gonna order some new camber kits because these are pretty worn out already. The ball joints aren't as strong anyways. So yeah, we're gonna have to do a real good alignment before we go to Honda Day anyway. So yeah, just gonna lower it down a little bit again and see how it looks then. That bulge on the tire in the back though, look at that thing. Looks beautiful. All right, so there we go. We have 5 turns on the collar. Just gonna bring that up 5 turns. Gonna lock that back into place and try it out there. All right, so we got it adjusted a little bit lower. It sits pretty even with the rear now. Obviously, since it's a hatch, it goes like that in the back. It gives the impression that the rear is slightly lower, which from the look of where the window sits, it looks pretty level. I actually really like how the car sits right there. I might lift the rear just a tad and then soften up the rear dampening just so when it leaves, it can kind of squat and hook a little more. If you guys look at the videos of all the big all-wheel drive guys, that's pretty much what they're doing. I'm not sure if the suspension-wise, that's exactly how they set it up on purpose, or if it's just kind of like a byproduct of how that works. But if you guys watch it, it always looks like the car leaves like a front-wheel drive, squats the rear, lifts up again when it hooks, and then goes forward. It almost like bunny hops in a lot of the fast cars. So I'm really liking how that looks right there. Nothing looks like it's rubbing. Obviously, I can't do a full lock turn yet, because of the front. It's just so aggressive, but that happens on most of our Hondas when we put big slicks in the front. On the rear, no rubbing issues with the control arms. We have about 12 millimeters of spacer on it, so it's a little bit more than I would have wanted to run, but I'll probably do some 15x8s in the future just to get rid of that problem, but for the time being, it's okay. I had the extended studs in the back, so it's no problem. But yeah, it's looking great. As soon as I get the new V-Stock, I can actually do some nice pictures of it. She's sitting really nice. All right, so back in the garage. I just set it in right here because I'm about to leave for work in a few minutes. Clean up the garage a little bit, set my daily wheels over here. I know they say not to let slicks sit, but I'm gonna leave them like this for tonight because tomorrow I'm gonna set the battery charger on right now and take it out for a spin tomorrow morning. If it's just overnight, it's not really an issue. It's when it sits for maybe a couple weeks when you start getting flat spots on slicks. So yeah, but I love the fitment. The rear is a little bit more out than I would have wanted, but given how the front ended up having to be raised a little bit, instead of looking like a super tucked look, obviously it's a 13x9 with a big slick on it. It kind of matches, you know, the front is still a little bit more out, but just the hair, and I think it looks great. So I'm pretty happy with how it looks. Yeah, I can't wait to go for the first drive tomorrow and figure out how this hooks up. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I just wanna drive around the street and make sure there's no crazy rubbing issues with it. I might do a launch here or there, although, you know, slicks are made for prep areas. A radial is much better on the street. But yeah, definitely happy with how it came out. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I'm going to be uploading this today, and hopefully tomorrow I can do maybe a live stream on my Instagram at Slowintegra, and you guys can see how that goes on that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your day.